Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.
Ryan, many congratulations. A ruthless straight sets win. That must be a really good feeling.
Yeah, before the match started, I was thinking just finish well and just sort of put him under pressure, and he missed a few doubles here and there, and I was pretty ruthless, and he missed 3 darts to make it 2-2 in the last set there, and sort of basically gave me the win, and I was happy with that. I would have had the throw last leg, and I was feeling confident anyway, but just to give me the win the leg earlier was nice.
Yeah, a 98 plus average and 64% on the doubles. Those numbers are really encouraging going forward, surely.
Yeah. The way I was practicing backstage, I thought I was going to play a lot better than that, to be honest. Scoring backstage is unbelievable, and picking my doubles, but it's easy to do it backstage when there's no pressure and no cameras. It takes a lot more to do it on stage, so yeah, I'll take that for sure.
And you've exited this competition 3 years running in the 3rd round. Coming into it this year, you've got Martin Schindler or Keane Barry. Are you hoping to break that duck this time around?
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, I've played Martin a few times, and he beat me in the final in Switzerland on the Euro Tour last season, and it's a game that I kind of threw away. So if he wins, I'm looking for revenge, and Keane Barry's a good player. You can't overlook him either. So whatever happens, I'll be up for a game after Christmas. I'll be driving straight home now, so as soon as this is done, I'll be home, and yeah, looking forward to Christmas.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Ryan, congratulations. Round 1 games, everyone said, have been really nervy, but there you just looked like you'd settled and at ease. Was that almost easy because there was not a lot coming back at you at times? To us watching it, that's how it seemed.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because I feel like the more that comes back at me, the more I kind of react to it. Obviously, my first round game, there wasn't a huge amount from Chris Lamman. He can play a lot better than he did against me in the first round, and obviously Brendan can play a lot better than that. But I feel like I was putting him under so much pressure, like straight away. It was probably hard for him to settle into the game, which is nice. And if you can put people under pressure like that and sort of hold them back from their full potential, that's basically the aim from the start.
Again, you get a nice Christmas break now. Is that nice that you get to go home, have proper Christmas with the family, and then come back refreshed, where people playing on perhaps the last day before the last session before Christmas don't get as much as a break and time to recharge?
Yeah, so I'll be home. My partner Sophie's driving home tonight, so we'll be home hopefully by 6-7 o'clock tonight, and home and chill out. And potentially means I'm playing on the 27th, obviously because I'm early on in the draw. But we'll see how it goes, and we'll take it how it comes. What does Christmas look like in the Searle household? So I've got my partner Sophie's. Both her parents come around, both my grandparents come around. I'm fortunate enough to have both my grandparents around still, and they'll be around. I'll be throwing some darts on Christmas for sure. See if I can get involved with that. Sophie's dad maybe try and get me on the board, but yeah, there's. This week I've had Damon Het around on Wednesday. We had a good 5-hour session on the board, and I felt like that sort of blew the cobwebs out a bit, because I can get a little bit lazy sometimes on the board, and that's why I've switched darts. I'm using my new darts now. They seem to be going well, but obviously I won 2 Pro Tours this year for the very first time, but I felt like I was getting a little bit lazy, so I switched to my new darts, which I wouldn't normally do till the new season, but that was just to get me on the board and just sort of trying to get me a bit more focused, and it seems to be working all right. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well done today, Ryan. Brendan struggled a little bit this year. How aware were you about where his game was going into that?
Yeah, so obviously, I said in my pre-match interview that a couple of seasons ago he beat Gary and Price on the way, when you were looking at, either of those two playing Littler on their way to the final or something. And you can never underestimate Brendan, because he's a fantastic player. I really like Brendan. He's a lovely guy. One of the nicest people you can meet, and I was not underestimating him for sure.
We've talked a lot about that extra drive that you've been trying to implement in this tournament and going forward. Does that include wanting to practice and trying to practice over Christmas and maybe sacrificing some time with the family?
Yeah, so I'll always try and practice on Christmas Day. sort of gets me away from social situations, which I'm not massive. Too many people around, I try and sort of get away and hide away in the practice room, and gives me an excuse to try and practice. But yeah, I feel like the way that I'm playing, that I can do some damage this tournament, and you know, if the draw opens up, we'll see where we go. Thank you.
Ryan, many congratulations. You've had a really good year this year. You've won Pro Tour events and you're aiming to break out of the third round and going further into this tournament. And you've mentioned you're going to be practicing on Christmas Day. Is it practice first, then presents, or are you going to do the presents first?
No, presents first. I can't practice at like 7 in the morning. My daughter wakes up so early, there'll be no chance of me on the board then. So yeah, maybe just before dinner or maybe just after. See how much I've ate, but yeah, we'll see.
And as you said, you switched to your new darts. So are you looking? Is this going to be a permanent fixture, or? Yeah,
so I'll use these darts now until the end of next season, or we'll see what new darts Harry's come out with until then. You know, I'm not overly fussy when it comes to darts, as long as they're the right weight, grip-wise, as long as they're not too grippy. You know, I'm pretty easy. You know, some players struggle with new darts and stuff like that, but you know, I'm pretty relaxed when it comes to new darts. As long as they're the right weight, then you know, well, I'll put the effort in and make sure they're right.
Well, we wish you the very best of luck and have a lovely Christmas.
Hey, and you, Merry Christmas.
Congrats, Ryan. In the next round, you could face Martin Schindler. Please give us a few words if he would be your opponent.
Yeah, so obviously he needs to win his game first. But if he does, I'm looking for revenge after Switzerland, where you know I missed, was it 6 or 7 match starts to win the tournament. You know, I didn't play particularly well there, but I kind of threw it away. But confidence-wise, I'm feeling good, and you know, if that's who I'm playing, then I'm looking forward to it.
Nathan Aspinall told us yesterday at the press conference, he speak a lot about the pressure in darts is getting more and more, even if, especially with the prize money rising. He's working a lot with about his mental health. And he said that the PDPA should help certain players that struggled at this tournament. What are your thoughts on this topic? Do you work with psychologists, or what do you think about that?
I think because I'm quite a laid-back character, things about the money going up this year for the Wales and stuff doesn't really affect me. Obviously, you know, I know who you're alluding to as far as the mental health and stuff goes, but you know, it's a difficult thing. You know, you can't act like that and get away with it. And it's, you know, darts is so popular now, and it's, you know, with Luke Littler, it's, you know, there's so many young eyes on the game, you know, that you can't get away with things like that. So PDPA wise, you know, it's something that maybe we can look at helping players out. But as far as I'm concerned, and with me, that I'm so laid back that things like that don't really bother me, and I just sort of get on with it.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.